What's going on, guys? It's PekkaGC and we're back with another video. Today we're going to be playing this Hog Rider Firecracker deck. I'm really excited again. This is the one we played last video. Let's get into it. Alright, so first game here we're against Sense. So we start off with a very aggressive Hog Firecracker. That I could get punished pretty easily by that. I don't know why I did that. So it seems like he's playing log bait here, which he ended up being. So I didn't know what type of log bait. I was really hoping it wasn't the Inferno Tower version because I'm not very good against that, and thankfully it was Cannon, which is a very good matchup for us. It's probably the best log bait matchup that we could play against. But he also has Goblin Gang to guard it, so I have to be very smart with my Earthquakes and with my Firecracker placement here. But anyways, we start the game off with a little bit of damage. We pre-Earthquake. He has a really bad cannon placement there. We get about 1,000 damage. Now we knight the Goblin Gang. The Goblin Gang protects his princess, and he gets to about the same damage as me. That was not very ideal. But now here we just wait a second. He places Valkyrie. We have pretty easy defense with the Firecracker and Skeletons coming up. Also with the Log 2, a very good Elixir trade, +1 on the total interaction. At this point, I decide, you know what? He just places the cannon to kill the Firecracker. I don't want his cannon there. Now I know it's completely out of cycle. So I'm going to place my Hog here because I really don't have much to guard his wall breakers. Now that Hog, it wasn't a very good Hog. I probably should have waited until I could get Evo Firecracker because then he really would have been like done. He would have had nothing to guard me. But now he did. Now I'm down, which I figured out this game. Goblin Hut was good to guard his prince and his princess and his Dark Goblin, which ended up being very helpful throughout this game because he tended to use that a lot. So knowing I could guard 6 Elixir with just 4 was a big key in this game. So yeah, he has a big push going here. I get in a nice Goblin Hut and no damage, easy defense, and we have a semi-decent counter push going the other way, but he has Evo Valk. Bad Earthquake. I think I placed it before, but I just had a little bit of spawn delay. I'm not sure though. I would have to obviously play it again. But yeah, we're getting to about the end of regulation time. We're about at the same damage. His princess is going to get a few hits, which was not ideal. Now we Hog Rider just as the Evo Cannons, but his Evo Cannon just misses the Firecracker, which is great for us. We get good damage. Get a little bit of Firecracker damage in there too. We place our Knight. I was really hoping that the Knight would kill, or the Valkyrie would go at the Knight so that it wouldn't, you know, kill my Firecracker. That sadly did not happen. But now we have a very nice push coming here, and his Valkyrie chases my Hog Rider, which was very good. Now we have so many goblins going in. It's just, we place down the log, few Spear Goblins get a hit, and that's the game. Let's go, guys. Alright, so in game 2 here, we're facing a Lumberloon player. I Hog Rider off the bat. He Balloon and Golden Knights, and I had absolutely no air defense. Both of my things were at the back of my deck. So his Balloon gets a good hit, he gets good damage. But if you look at that, my Hog Rider did about 3,000 damage. So, you know, that's kind of ideal for me. Great start to the game. These Spear Goblins, they do no damage, sadly. The Dagger Duchess are pretty good at killing Spear Goblins when they're full. But here we get the tower. He tries to kill with the Hunter, but the Hunter doesn't shoot fast enough. I know it because I used to play Hunter in a very devious Mega Knight deck. We try to you know, play a little bit of defense for the knight. Try to make it not die. It did die, sadly. Play skeletons. Hunter gets no damage, because when it hits like a tank to your tower. That's a really good Golden Knight dash there by him. But my Hog Rider does get 2 hits on its tower, which is very, very nice. Especially because, you know, I'm not great at defending Lumberloon half the time, so it will probably come down to this game being a 2-tower game instead of a 1-tower. I thought he was going to Lumberloon here, but thankfully he didn't have his Lumberjack in by the time he placed his balloon, and he didn't have the elixir for it, but at the time I didn't know it. I was very happy. And this was honestly a bad push by him. 2 air cards, like the Firecracker's just going to eat that up. And they're both pretty slow. That's what makes the Lumberloon work so well together, because the Lumberjacks are really fast and he kills ground stuff while the balloon just goes for the tower and is a little bit slow. But anyways, he Golden Knights here. You know, I get my Hog Rider, he gets a hit on the tower, which is amazing. Get a nice Earthquake, get a little bit of chip damage from the Firecracker. But at this point, I think I'm cooked, so he's about to Evo Lumberjack. And, you know, he has a nice tornado in here to kill all the stuff, which I was not very happy about. I get my knight down, but I still take a lot of damage here. And I'm pretty sure I lose my tower. Yeah, I do lose the tower, unfortunately. And now I have to eat a bit of damage on my main tower, which ended up being fine. I Goblin Hut here to lead away the balloon for my tower, and getting a knight. Place a bad Firecracker, because I didn't think the balloon would die, but it did. So now I cannot use that Firecracker on the other side, which I kind of wanted to. That was such a good Ice Spirit there. That Ice Spirit allowed my Hog to get a hit. You know, a bit of, I think it was time delay, like drop delay there. Why I placed my knight so late. Because I definitely had the elixir for it, I think. But anyways, get a little bit of chip damage there. Hog Rider gets a hit, get a nice Earthquake in there, and now we're just 1 Earthquake away. Place a second Goblin Hut. Now it's just a Goblin party in here right now. He Evo Lumberjacks. I should have just logged Lumberjack just to hit it once more, but I didn't. But I get an Earthquake on the tower anyways, and that's the game. Alright, next match here, we're against Bajito.exe. He ended up playing Mortar in this matchup, which is a very good matchup for Hog Quake, considering his entire defense gets countered by Earthquake. I guess his entire offense, technically. My bad, I missaid that. But anyways, I don't play great at the start here, because I was still trying to figure out, like, what was all in his deck. My Ice Spirit decided to just quit going after the Firecracker mid play, but that's alright, I guess. You know, a bad Firecracker placement, you can see why I said I played kind of bad at the start of this game. But, you know, it ended up, same with that knight placement, that was really bad. But, you know, I kind of hard counter him, so I'm not too worried about this game. You know, I Hog, get an Earthquake down. He gets 1 hit, but he places Spear Goblins. I get really good EQ value, and I get about 2 to 3 hits. I believe 2, because he wastes his log, because I don't think I would have gotten a 3rd hit regardless. So that's very, very ideal for me. Now, I make him play a bit of defense on Skeletons and an Ice Spirit, which was kind of funny. I thought he wouldn't touch that, but it's probably smart that he did. Now he has 2 Evos, though, which is not ideal for me, because I only have 1 Evo in this deck, Evo Firecracker, because the Skeletons I am trying to get. But anyways, our Earthquake, get a Hog Rider to defend the first hit. And I ended up logging his Spear Goblins, which is fine because he's not using really anything that I could need to log other than Skelly Barrel, but that's what my Firecracker and my Ice Spirit is for. As I just said, my Firecracker, I'm sorry, I was dying of coughing apparently. We have a pretty good push going here. He kills my Firecracker with Royal Delivery. Good defense by him. Now my EQ is out of cycle. I place down Firecracker and quickly realize it's going to get one-shotted. So I place a Knight down to defend. My Firecracker takes some damage from the Skelly Barrel, but I'm not too worried because my Hog Rider will tank for it. And now we get a hit there. We're back. We get good EQ value. I always tend to go for tower damage on Earthquakes against Mortar, just because it makes the game go a little quicker, unless he has a big push coming and a lot of it can die from EQ. And our Hog gets a really good hit there. He has to play a bit of defense on my Firecracker because his Cannoneer is still charging up. I place a Goblin Hut, which should clean up with a log. His Mortar is doing virtually nothing at this point. I mean, it's pretty much useless. I get a good EQ in, no damage taken. And now all I need is one more EQ, and that should be the game. I log him for some reason, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win anyways, unless I really sold, which I don't, and that is the game.